Hello and welcome to Connect Live. I'm Dawn Peters. If you're in business at a startup or entrepreneur or at the C-suite level, you need to be aware of the financial and health disparities. What are those? Well, here to talk to that is Courtland Wyatt of docwyatt.com. Welcome, Courtland.
Thanks, Dad, for having me.
Thanks for being here. So let's just dive straight in. What do you mean when we talk about financial and health disparities?
Well, the key aspect here is when we talk about financial and wealth disparities, if we're talking about business and getting people to start businesses and improving socioeconomic development in communities, we have to talk about these things because the gap is so wide, and some of these things are very key. So especially dealing with the Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian populations where they are under these disparities. So, for instance, when we talk about health, Blacks face the biggest weight loss, cardiovascular disease, strokes, diabetes. All these things are killing these communities. And if you don't have excellent health, you can't have excellent wealth. So yes. Health starts with everything. If you can't get out the bed, if you have all these different things that you have to fight, let's not even get into the wealth part of it, because we have to start with those things first.
Right. And I would think people in business, and I know myself, once you start getting into the business and the hours, the long hours and everything, health is the last thing you tend to think about.
Exactly.
And so it gets pushed further and further behind.
Right.
And people really need to put that number one, as you say, because if you don't have that, you're not good for anybody or anything.
Right. And then once you get those things on track, you have a better outcome on things. But also, too, when we talk about business and starting business, and some of the people that I want to touch is how do most people start businesses? They have collateral, they have homes, they have all these different things. But in these communities, people are discriminated against for housing loans, which is quite different. If you look at the housing market in this area, Blacks and Hispanics, their housing income or their house worth is $100,000 versus other ethnic origins. It's in a ballpark of $1 million. So when you start looking at these type of disparities, it's a lot different. So you can borrow against the loan, get a loan against your house to start a business, where on the other side that you can't. When you start looking at retirement, when somebody retires from the Black community, they may have $100,000 versus 1.6 million. I believe it's the national stats for the white counterparts. So these things we talked earlier about the wealth gap in America, and it's just getting wider, and these things are playing a part of it. So if you're not able to get a loan, if you're not able to get fair housing, if you're discriminated against when you go get a loan, all these different things will play a key aspect of you being able to start a business. And if you are able to start a business, you're starting on a shoestring budget where you won't have money for marketing, you won't have money for products, you won't have money for employees, all these different things that play a part. So now your business is already suffering before you got out the gate. Right. It's not robust. It's like putting a seed in the concrete and expecting it to grow. It may grow, but it's going to take a lot. Versus if you have the desired environment, nice sod, or water, sunlight, right, planted by the sea, the ocean, and all those different things. So that's very key when we talk about business ownership and why there's a lack of successful Black businesses and African American businesses and Hispanic business and Native American businesses versus white America. So those things are paramount, and until people start seeing these disparities, they won't go away. And my job is to kind of help level the playing field and to make people realize their dreams. Just try to provide some equity.
Right. I love that. So you deal, when you're coaching somebody to get into business or in business, you deal with the fundamental foundation of where they're at and really what's realistic so they can grow a business.
Right. And it's a lot of people want to have businesses. They want to do this, but it's so tough when you're fighting this uphill battle. And it really takes an extra amount of coaching to, hey, sometimes with some people you just can't start off with, oh, we're going to start off with the business plan. No, we got to go back further than that. Okay, we got to look at your credit score. We got to make you look strong on paper to the bank. We got to do all these things. You have to kind of go a different route to make sure that they understand, to even get them to the place to, okay, now I can start my business plan and get a business and all these different things. Because if not, your business is going to be on life support the day it comes out.
Yeah.
It's like a premature infant coming out,
Right,
2
yes.
months. And it's
Absolutely.
like just fighting a struggle versus a long, strong, healthy pregnancy to give birth to a business that, versus the way that I'm talking about most people of color have to start businesses.
I love that analogy. That's fantastic. And people need to be very real when they're looking to start a business, because once you jump in, it can be a lot of investment at the beginning and you really want to keep going with it. So if people want to work with you, with your coaching, how can they get in touch with you?
They can get in contact with me at docwyatt.com. My email address is info@docwyatt.com. And also my cell phone number is 240-604-8757.
Thank you so much for being here and sharing your wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Fun.
Thanks for watching today. If you want to find out more about this or be a guest on the show yourself, please go to connexionhub.biz.